Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction video today. It's finally been another week. We're finally back with more 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝓃𝓉𝓇𝒾𝒸. I'm recording this slightly later in the day than I normally do because, unfortunately, I guess the Raws took a little while longer to get out on my usual sites, you know what I mean, wink wink. I think it's because somebody in the comments mentioned that, I guess Netflix was, was screwing over people with VPNs, you know what I mean? So it was harder to get a hold of the Raws, which is unfortunate. But you know what? That's all right, because we still should be in time for this to go up on August 8th, like it normally does every Sunday. Well, Sunday here on the East Coast. But I'm really excited to get into this episode because last week we got introduced to a new villain, 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝓃𝓾𝒾𝒸, the most evil, vilest person in the Sakura cosmos. I'm really excited to see what happens next in regards to him because, you know, all things considered, even considering, you know, the trauma of having everyone, you know, say that they were against you from the start or whatever, and that they always wanted to kill you and they were just playing roles, even though obviously we know that's not true. But at the time, Shiki thought it was true. That's pretty traumatizing, and, you know, the stuff with the frog neck motherfucker who turned women into furniture. All of those things considered, this has been a relatively lighthearted series. So to have this new villain, who's probably gonna be the villain for the rest of the season, mind you, be introduced with that brutal scene of him destroying a bottle in some guy's mouth. Man, are we really setting the tone for this upcoming arc? Jeez. Boy, I'm a bit frightened of what's going to happen next. But the last thing our heroes were doing is we were in a coliseum of sorts because we wanted some information from Xiaomei regarding Valkyrie. But she looks like she's going to be, Xiaomei is going to be putting us through a bit of a test first before we could get anywhere close to having that. I would say that they could potentially have a thing, you know, that thing in series where, like, the heroes have to go off to train, but then while they're off training, the place where they are before is under siege, or somewhere else is under siege by the main villains, and they have to go there. But then again, unless Xiaomei has been bamboozling us and straight up bean-boozling us about the whole time standing still thing, I believe her for now. But if she either changes that or something, and 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝒃𝒃 does attack the 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝒃𝓃𝓉𝓇𝒾�ဍ, I will be surprised because so far she's been a pretty reliable narrator. So I'm gonna believe her when she says that time is frozen in the outside world when they're on this planet with her. Oh yeah, before we begin, hair is shorter if you didn't seen it. Not gonna get hugely into it, but it was really long, over 12 inches long, and I was like, fuck, you know what? I'm gonna cut my hair, and since I'm gonna cut my hair, and it's really long, I'm gonna donate it to, I think, Wigs for Kids. So, hair short now. Also, I made a meme about it before, about 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝓃𝓉𝓇𝒾�ဍ getting figures and how I'm gonna be really broke, but there was a new tweet about the figures. Let me see if we can go find them real quick. I really don't need to, but I'm going to anyway. They don't have price tags yet. Oh wait, hold on a second. Oh, never mind. They don't have price tags yet, or a pre-order date, or like a release date in general. I almost thought there was with that 1/8 down there, but that's just the scale of it, 1/8 scale figure. The Akihabara Kotobukiya building exhibition starting today, so it might be soon. God damn it. I'm going broke. These goddamn figures. I got into figure collecting recently. You can't see them because they're not very high quality image, but I've gotten a bunch of anime figures recently. I've pre-ordered a bunch. God damn it. But with that all being said, we're going to start with this episode. As always, unless you're new here, links in the description below will take you to full-length, uncut reaction for this episode of 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝓃𝓉𝓇𝒾�ဍ. So you can go there to one of the links, watch the reaction, then you can come back to YouTube for the discussion. So, without further ado, let's get started with episode 18? Yeah, 18 of 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝓃𝓉𝓇𝒾�ဍ. Can't believe I gotta wait another goddamn week for more episodes. This is a great episode. Finally getting the rest of the confrontation here with Xiaomei, which is really an interesting sort of ordeal, because it ended up doing something I thought was going to happen, and that being having to fight with representations of people important in your life and having some sort of a thing come out of it. But I guess it only really mattered that Homura have it, at least for the time being. Because we've been focusing a decent amount on Homura ever since she was first introduced, you know, because because obviously when she was introduced, there was this whole thing with her when they were on 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝒸, when they were introducing her and adding some mystery to who she is. And then there was that time on Digitalis where she went missing, and then there was Homura, who we thought was Homura but wasn't Homura. So it's interesting where they're going with her character. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know what's going to happen, because we've resolved that shot in the opening where the two of them are fighting. It was revealed to just be her, Homura, fighting a robot with her memories and some of her abilities, but not as strong as her. This is, you know what, this is the second time someone's used a substitute for themselves in a fight, and in both times, of course, the substitute was nowhere near as strong as the original. So I can only imagine how powerful the original is. That's gonna be so interesting to see. The only other additional information I can glean from this opening is that, oh, there's a... Alright, hold on. There's a shot of some, like, I don't know, some, like, Power Rangers, like, Sentai-looking dude shooting laser beams and things. And the way, like, it's lit, I guess how you could say, or, like the lighting and, like, the soft, like, aura around it makes me think it has something to do with the past, though I could be entirely wrong about that. But that would be interesting. And the only other thing I can really glean from this opening is the big fuck off robot that looks like they have the big mech, which is, what is that? Is on Draken Joe's ship and he's gonna use it to fight, or is that on Sun Jewel, and why and what is it gonna be used for? Either way, it's such an interesting little thing to add into the detail to add into the opening. I will say one thing that this show gets absolutely perfect. No matter what anybody says about this anime, one thing they get perfect is all the fan service. It's never, honestly, it's never been too intrusive for me. There was one scene in particular that I've seen people dislike for the interruption of a series scene with fan service from Fire Force. I watched about 8 episodes of season 1 of Fire Force before I got bored and stopped. But so far, it's generally not been too intrusive. I guess you could argue back on 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝒸𝒸, it was kind of like intrusive because they were having funny fan service moments while the women were being turned into naked furniture, which is really fucked up. But they were also having like goofy, oh, tentacles in Rebecca, I wonder what's gonna happen next, wink wink moments. But I feel like, despite like the sort of like lighthearted nature and like the like haha look at this funny scene, like kind of feel that scene have, I still feel like the sexual nature of it kind of feeds into like the whole like arc or whatever by itself, just because of the nature of the villain of that arc. And so, and like, none of these fights at the beginning, the only fight out of here that was meant to be taken seriously was Homura's, because it involved her basically fighting a lesser version of her master, and I don't know if it's ever going to get brought up again, but it would be interesting to either see it brought up again, or like maybe not necessarily brought up, but like you just sort of see it in the background, and you only really pick up on it if you're paying attention, but like Homura compensating for her weakness again, now that it's been pointed out by this replica, that being her pivot foot, because that would be really cool to see again. Just like, it'd be like in other shonen series, or like other battle series where like they expand upon big fights from the manga in the anime. They just expand on it and have extended like really well animated fight scenes. Just like slightly include that, like how they do it with the very last fight between Naruto and Sasuke and Naruto Shippuden. I didn't watch the anime, I read the manga, but a really cool detail they added in the anime is that constantly Naruto is trying to do the signs for Shadow Clone Jutsu because he uses that a lot, but because Sasuke knows exactly what Naruto's moves are, he's constantly doing everything he can to make it so that Naruto can't do it. And the only time Naruto is able to pull it off is when he gets Sasuke ends up pushing him away, really far away. And it's a cool little detail that it's not explicitly said. It's just something you notice if you're like paying attention. It's a really cool detail. So that would be interesting to see that as like a small detail they add. But as I was saying about how it's not supposed to be, these fights are not supposed to be taken seriously. They're all meant to be super goofy, and that's very obvious from Shiki's fight. He just rushes over, beats him in one hit, And then obviously Wise's was a cakewalk. He literally just EMP'd the dude's ether gear and kicked him until he was unconscious. So I would hope nobody complains about the fan service in this, because you should have known going into this it wasn't going to be a serious fight between Rebecca and the boxer. So I mean it's Rebecca. They've been making jokes about her sexuality and doing fan service stuff since episode 1, when Shiki first met her and he started groping her because he'd never seen a human woman before. Let's see. God damn it. And of course they're going to hit us with more hints about Shiki's past, or like his relation to Mother. And of course they're going to deliberately do it in a way where they're just being so vague about it, because realistically it was Xiaomei's thoughts. She was thinking, no wonder he's Mother's, and then she just cut herself off. It's your thoughts, you don't have to do that. You weren't talking to anybody, god damn it. But I guess it's one of those mysteries that we're supposed to be left hanging on for a very prolongated amount of time. It's really sad. This is so sad. Press the like button. One like button equals one prayer for my sadness for not knowing. But please don't spoil me. We'll learn eventually. And maybe even together, because if it hasn't been revealed on the manga yet, and it won't be revealed anytime soon, or at least until the rest of the season is out and I can watch it all and then eventually go into the manga or whatever. Maybe we'll learn about it together. But it was interesting. Oh yeah, and obviously I was mentioning fan service earlier. Can't forget the shot of the close-up shot of Xiaomei's thighs in her groinular region, we'll call it. And I forget what it's a reference to. It's definitely like a movie. I can't cross my legs like she was. My thigh's too thick. My thing between the thighs or whatever. I can't. But like where they were like cross the legs like what she was, and then very slowly and deliberately changing which legs is crossed, making sure to expose underneath the skirt. If that was in the... Alright, I'm gonna go look at the manga now, making sure not to spoil myself. But if that was in the manga, God bless you, God bless you, Hiro Mashima. You know what we like to see. Or if it was something they added in, JC Staff, I think, is the ones animating it. You also know what we want. 𝐸𝒸𝒸𝓃𝓾𝓆. Oh. Okay, I found it. Chapter 48. Not exactly, definitely a focus on, the legs region, which I gotta say, if Mashima is a leg man, respect. I respect that. But the whole changing legs thing... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's new for the anime, it would seem. Those are the real changes. Those are the real changes we like to see when adapting a manga into an anime. But real quick, I want to check something else. First of all, that shot of Shiki at the end, that was dope. Alright. Unless I'm just forgetting what the planet looked like when they mentioned it. It seemed like the planet looked slightly different in the anime at the very least. Yeah, that's weird. Alright, so looking at the anime right now, it's just like a regular kind of ball looking thing with the rings and stuff, with the gems. But in the manga, it was way more interesting looking. I don't know if that was time constraints or budget constraints, or they forgot, or Mashima himself was like, yeah, no, I changed my mind. I don't want it to look like this. Like, maybe later on, during the actual arc when they're on the planet, it looks different, and he's just like, yeah, I changed my mind on what the setting's gonna look like. I don't feel like drawing these massive crystals in the background. If he does show, like, the background or whatever, with those in it. It could also be a case of this is what it looks like initially, but when they get to the planet, again, Hiro Mashima changed his mind. I don't know, but that's like a weird change. Like, it's one of those changes where you're just like, you're not mad that it's changed because it doesn't take away from the story or add anything to the story. Just kind of like, it's just a change that's like there. So all you can do is just sit there and like slightly squint your eyes and be like, but why? Why did you do that? what was the reason for that? But man, I'm really excited to get into the next episode. Sun Jewel arc. Probably, maybe the rest of the season, depending on how long it is. Because I don't know how long this arc is going to be, but either way, I'm super excited to get into it. Sucks that I gotta wait another week, but you know how it is. I'm gonna keep complaining about it until it ends. And then once I get caught up with the manga, or if I decide to wait for the anime, either one, I'm gonna end up complaining about waiting weekly at some point in the future in regards to Eden Zero, but that's just how this shit goes, bro. But without further... Oh, sorry, excuse me. Not what I meant to say. But thank you all for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. That all being said, thank you once again for watching. Peace.